Everybody, it's Style from the Hot Moon Podcast. So, Dan Hurley did a really interesting interview on 60 Minutes. Man, I recommend checking it out. Dan Hurley, the head coach of UConn, who recently won back-to-back championships. And he was a candidate. If we go down memory lane, right, it was crazy how things have changed and how quickly we've forgotten that. We had Dan Hurley being the top candidate, Lakers priority for the head coaching job after Darvin Ham had left, right? You talk about, Los Angeles Lakers, they always do things big. Clearly you saw, they did it big when they got Luka, even though that fell in their lap. But the Laker franchise, that's what they're known to do. Get guys in free agency, make big head coaching splashes, even though Darvin Ham one wasn't really a big one. But, it seemed like they were trying to go back to their ways. And it seemed like they were kind of able to do that a little bit recently as of getting Luka Doncic. Come on now, right? The rich get richer. But Dan Hurley had something very interesting to say because he was doing it with his wife on there. And overall, that interview was really good. It was just like you just got to get to see more of Dan Hurley and just his mind, how he operates. Really good coach, really good coach, and you can see why the Lakers were intrigued, very intrigued in getting him. But here's my issue with that though, right? And obviously they want to move with JJ Redick, which we'll get to in a bit. His explanation, it almost sounded like kind of like the classic explanation, but his situation was different. He just coming off of back-to-back championships. You're a god there, UConn, following the steps of like Jim Calhoun, right? And UConn is a blue blood basketball program. But when asked about, because the interviewer said, hey, you were doing interviews and all that, and him and his wife said, yeah, they were wild. His wife said she was messed up after going to that trip to LA. Just seeing the purple and gold, the banners, the championships, just Lakers are an NBA franchise and NBA royalty, right? But Dan Hurley said, college coaching compared to the NBA, there's more of a sense of purpose to it. Okay, there's just because of the impact you can have on a 17-year-old, 19-year-old, what you can mean for them in their life, and it's something that you don't get in pro sports the same way. You're the last group of people that is going to really teach these kids a lot of what they need to learn to be successful, to make them tougher, to make them better, and just to prepare them for what walks are going to be. Prepare them for what life's going to be like. Okay. And he's like, UConn's one of the best known brands in the world. Okay, yes, we know that. All right, they're 22-9, so still has a chance to three-peat. That's always on the table for Dan Hurley. Great statement, right? Great, really great. But come on now, like that's your statement afterwards. But money talks, man. Money talks, and I believe Dan Hurley was offered $70 million. I think he said no. I don't know who offered him more money. I think UConn offered him money. Whatever. Either way, he decides to stay. Look, he said UConn. UConn could be a lifetime contract for him. His family's already there. He enjoys the Northeast. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. But the Lakers are good at pulling anybody. Okay. Lakers tried to get Mike Krzyzewski a few years ago. After Phil Jackson left. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, Mike Krzyzewski, he didn't win a championship. It was like 3 years removed from winning a championship in 2004. That was when Phil Jackson left after the 2004 season. So Lakers have tried to go after big name coaches in college, but it's been a while since they approached one. This day and age is a little different. Okay, for Dan Hurley. It's a great statement and all that. You get it. Who can argue with that? But I just feel like the money probably wasn't there, right? And then fast forward, you have JJ Redick. I'm sure Laker fans are probably really ecstatic to have JJ as a coach, right? You have JJ Redick, who's coming from unknown. He's been a player, long career in the NBA, been great on being as a TV analyst. You know what I'm saying? They went with the second best option, in my opinion, right? I think, going after JJ Redick was a bold move and it's paid off dividends, right? So my question is, I know hindsight is 2020, but do you think Dan Hurley would have been able to do a good job with this team, with his coaching style, compared to what JJ Redick has done? I'm gonna say I don't think so. I don't know if LeBron would have rocked with Dan Hurley like that. I don't know if the players in the NBA would rock with Dan Hurley like that. You know, the Lakers are supporting him, but I don't know if Dan Hurley would be successful in the NBA as he is in college, man. Just my opinion. I mean, I know it's, like I said, hindsight is 2020, but I think JJ Redick has done a good job so far, and I think JJ Redick. It just seems like JJ Redick it seems like a match made in heaven right now. You know, JJ Redick still has a lot to prove. Okay, he does, but he's done a good job up to this point. Okay, I find it very hard to believe that Dan Hurley would have done this, had the same level of success, even Luka trade and all that stuff. Even though people can make the case, well, what has JJ Redick done compared to Dan Hurley? Right. I think sometimes it's not about your resume. It's just about the personality that can fit. Right. And I think the Lakers struck gold with JJ Redick, in my opinion. Maybe it won't be popular. People are going to be like, oh, but, you know, he's Dan Hurley. He's UConn. You know, he's done a lot, you know. So there's always that element to it. Anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think about this. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.